The snowstorm had suffocated Fairbanks Ridge, Montana, beneath a thick veil of stillness. At exactly 5:27 a.m., Nolan Carter and his Belgian Mollywood Duke trekked through the bone-white wilderness, their breaths fogged in the bitter cold as the wind whispered through the trees. Suddenly, Duke snarled and darted ahead, barking wildly near Timber Hollow Bridge. He clawed at the snow with frenzied desperation. Nolan's heart pounded as he rushed over. Beneath the snow, twisted metal gleamed. A patrol SUV flipped and mangled. Blood smeared the icy road in ghastly arcs. Slumped against the shattered window was a female officer, her face nearly blue, lips trembling from cold. "Deputy Lane, ID 162, she rasped, her voice a brittle whisper before her eyes rolled back. Nolan moved to extract her, but Duke froze mid-bark, body stiff and trembling. His eyes locked in a shadowed tree line across the bridge, ears pinned back, a deep growl vibrating through his chest. Nolan knew instantly they weren't alone. Metal screamed as he forced the door open. Her uniform was soaked, badge glinting in what faint light broke through the clouds. She was barely breathing, every exhale a whisper against the wind. Duke circled them, nose twitching rapidly, sniffing for danger. Nolan had carried injured men before in Kandahar, but his gloved hands felt useless as he wrestled with her seatbelt. "Stay with me," he whispered. No answer, only the snowfall and Duke's continued low growling. Something was wrong. The kind of wrong that woke muscle memory from the battlefield. He lifted her from the wreck, cradling her as her head lolled against his shoulder. The hike to his cabin was grueling, snow rising past his calves with every step. Duke led them, always glancing back, tail rigid. The woman's breath hitched against his chest, and Nolan picked up the pace, lungs burning. At last, his log cabin came into view, golden light spilling from windows into the white swirl. Behind them, the forest stood silent. Inside, he laid her on the couch by the fireplace, where embers glowed faintly. Duke sat by the door, ears perked. Nolan fetched towels and bandages. Her forehead bore a deep gash, hair matted with blood. Her name tag read A. Lane. Footsteps creaked upstairs. Papa, 8-year-old Micah, stood at the top, in flannel pajamas, his curls wild with sleep. Why is Duke acting mad? Nolan kept his voice calm. There was an accident, kiddo. She's hurt. Duke didn't move from his post. That alone unsettled Micah, who was used to Duke's gentle loyalty. He wrapped the woman in the heaviest quilt he owned, the one Alina had made their last Christmas together. As he did, her lips moved faintly. Her eyes fluttered open, unfocused, glazed. She tried to rise but winced, clutching her head. Duke approached cautiously, sniffing her hand with unusual care. "Easy," Nolan said gently. "You're safe now. You were in a crash." Her eyes flicked to him, then to the room. Log walls, mounted photos, Micah peeking through the stair rail. Duke sat beside her, protective and still. Nolan noticed she wouldn't look at the dog directly, yet something about Duke calmed her. Alexa," she murmured. "Deputy Alexa Lane. ID 162. She said it as if anchoring herself to reality. Outside, the wind howled. Nolan went to the kitchen and started the coffee pot. He also warmed milk, Micah's usual morning drink. From the doorway, he watched his son inch closer to the couch despite the situation. "You have a gun," Micah observed bluntly. Alexa looked at her hip, momentarily startled. Her gaze flickered with something Nolan couldn't quite name: fear, recognition. Duke's ears twitched, eyes scanning her holster. "It's part of my job," she said with effort. "Like your dad has wrenches for fixing cars." She accepted a mug of cocoa Nolan handed her. Her fingers trembled around it. Steam rose into her face, momentarily veiling her features. For the first time, Duke lay down at her feet, tail thumping once. The radio on her belt crackled. "Units 4 and 9, respond." No one moved. Alexa stared into the mug, frozen. Duke's ears shot up, his hindquarters quivering. "Aren't you going to answer that?" Nolan asked softly. She shook her head. "Too dangerous. Roads are impassable." Her voice was slow, measured. "I need to think. Figure out what happened." She looked at Duke then, and something passed between them. Recognition. Not fear. Not confusion. But something deep. Familiar. The storm outside raged. Inside, the fire crackled and the radio hissed softly. Nolan studied her posture, her grip on the cup. Duke rested beside her, content, but always listening. "You don't trust them, do you?" he asked. Alexa didn't answer. She just stared into the fire. The next morning, the storm hadn't let up. The three of them fell into an odd rhythm. Cocoa for Micah, coffee for the adults, cautious small talk. But Alexa often stared out the window. Her hand hovered near her weapon at every bumper sound. And Duke, he was glued to her side, always alert, always watching. "You're running from something," Nolan said one night. They sat in the living room, Micah asleep upstairs. Her body stiffened. "I don't know what you mean." Duke stirred, placing his head in her lap. "You've got the posture of a soldier, or someone used to checking exits. The dog knows something's off, too." Alexa stared at the flames. Finally, she whispered, "Not everyone with a badge deserves it." The following day, just after sunrise, Sheriff Kincaid showed up in a brown SUV, snow crunching beneath his tires. "Morning, Carter," he said, accepting coffee in the living room. "Found an abandoned squad car near Timber Hollow. Thought you might have seen something." No one played dumb. Not much movement during the blizzard, but Duke growled low from the hallway, ears flat, body bristling. Kincaid's hand drifted toward his hip, and from the kitchen, Alexa flinched at the sound of the sheriff's radio. After the visit, Nolan confronted Alexa. "What just happened?" She looked at him, the dam finally breaking. 2 years ago, my husband, Caleb, was murdered. He was part of a K-9 unit. His dog, Max, was retired early. Broken. Just like me." Nolan's breath caught. "Max." He looked at Duke. Alexa nodded. "I couldn't keep him. It hurt too much. But when you pulled me from that wreck, he recognized me. It hit Nolan like a freight train. Duke was Max. The same dog. Same soul. The dog he'd adopted from a rescue center had once been Caleb Lane's partner." Tears slipped down Alexa's cheeks. "I've been undercover, gathering evidence against Kincaid. He's deep in narcotics trafficking. They found out. That crash? It wasn't an accident." The sound outside snapped their heads up, an engine in the distance. Nolan stood. "Get Micah. Go to the root cellar. Take Duke with you." She hesitated, but he was already heading to the gun safe. 3 black SUVs pulled into the drive. Men stepped out armed. Nolan locked and loaded, settling near the front window. The first shot broke the glass. Nolan fired back, dropping one attacker. The snow became chaos. More bullets flew. "We just want the woman, Carter," Kincaid yelled. "Hand her over, and we're done." But Nolan had heard promises like that in Hellman Province. Lies. He fought back, driving them into confusion. When 2 men breached the house, Nolan dropped them with precision. Then silence. "It's over," he shouted to the cellar. "Come on out." Footsteps on the stairs. Duke burst out first, tail wagging, followed by Alexa and a wide-eyed Micah. "Did the bad guys lose?" Micah asked. Nolan knelt and pulled him close. "They did, buddy. We won." 6 hours later, federal agents arrived. Alexa handed over all the evidence. It was enough to dismantle the ring. She stayed for several days, then weeks. Eventually, she accepted a post in Billings, just 3 hours away. 6 months passed. Snow blanketed Timber Hollow again. Nolan stood at the repaired bridge with Micah beside him. Alexa's FBI SUV pulled up their drive, Duke's tail wagging, before she even stepped out. "You think she'll stay this time?" Micah asked. "I think she already has." They walked back toward the house, toward warmth, chili on the stove, and laughter echoing from the yard where Alexa and Micah built a snowman. Duke ran circles around them, joyful and whole. Finally, undeniably home.